Hello. It is Saturday afternoon, February 15th, uh, and I am glad to be able to be here and to speak on the behalf of Make America Moral Again. The United States was founded on some very basic beliefs and principles, and we need to get back to them. Uh, we've gone off the we've gone off the deep end. I mean, we as a country, um, there are so many things that are going on that are just wrong. They're wrong. I don't know how else to say it. They are wrong. Um, America is the home of the brave and the land of the free. And we didn't get that way by backing down and kowtowing. Is that a word? Kowtowing? I don't know. But appeasing everybody uh, and their brother or, or sister or mother or father who, I mean, we are not doing what we need to be doing as a country. And it's good to see that President Trump and his cabinet, they're not playing around. His team, not all are in the cabinet, but the ones that are his staff working with him to get things done, they're not playing around. They mean business. They even use misfortune to their advantage. Most people said, "Oh, all of these prosecutors are resigning." And what was Trump's response to that? Well, they were going to get fired anyway. I believe that they are wanting to get rid of these prosecutors that won't go after the real criminals, and that's the state governments, that's the other countries. Um, they're not going to put up with it. And they're all speaking out. It's just not one, and they're all speaking as one. Um, but we're not going to put up with it. Reciprocal tariffs. That's standing firm. That's standing tall. That's saying, you know what? We are Americans, and we don't back down. Every time we've tried to appease other countries, we end up getting in more trouble than we were before we started appeasing them. Strength or peace through strength is a real thing. It is a belief that Americans hold dear. We wouldn't have become a country if we hadn't fought to win. If we had appeased Great Britain, but we didn't. And Donald Trump's not going to do any appeasing. But he's fair. He's being fair. He's being fair. Now, I really hate to see all these people losing their jobs. I'm not happy about it. But I mean, my goodness, he said if you accept a buyout, we're going to give you until um, the end of September. We're going to pay you. We're going to keep you on insurance, all the benefits, everything. You know what? There aren't many companies that would do anything like that. He wants to be fair. People are all upset about reciprocal tariffs. Well, reciprocal tariffs is as fair as you can get. He's not mistreating uh, the EU or India or China or any of the other countries. All he's saying is, look, if you're going to charge us 25% or 10% or 15% or whatever it is, we're going to charge that right back to your products coming into our country. You know, he could be a lot tougher if he wanted to be. He could be a lot tougher. He put those tariffs on Mexico and Canada, and he held them right up. He said, all I want to do is talk. Come to the table and talk to me. He's greeting, he's meeting, he's inviting all kinds of countries to come to the White House, and so that they can talk and they can meet with one another. Now he gets in all kinds of trouble because he wants to end the Russia-Ukraine war. And he absolutely had the nerve to talk to Putin, the guy in charge of Russia, which is one of the countries at war. Now, how in the world do you imagine that there's ever going to be a peace deal if nobody's willing to talk to Russia? Guys, Russia's winning the war. Don't you know that? They are winning war. So, I mean, yeah, it's costing them a lot of money, and it's definitely costing them a lot of lives. People are dying by the thousands and the hundreds of thousands, and I mean, they're approaching the million mark, both sides. That's a big toll. But if you can't get sides talking, what are you going to do? You can't do much. And America does not roll over and play dead like a dog that you train to do it. We don't sit up and bark when others command us to do that. It seems like we did that under Biden. A lot of things under Biden were just absolutely out of control. And the language police, I don't have to call a man she because a man wants to be called she. He is a man. You won't find me calling a man she. And no one ought to call me a she because I wouldn't accept it. You know, I got nothing against women. I love them. But my pronouns are he and his, and I. Is me a pronoun? Anyway, those are my pronouns. I'm not a they or a we or a she or a her. Again, this is just getting back to the basics. The basics. Years ago, the women stood up and fought for their right to play sports. They knew they couldn't compete against the men. And so they said, we want a right to be able to play sports. And they fought. I mean, they fought. Okay, they weren't appeasing anybody back then. And then under Biden, we're told, no, no, no. These trans have a right to play too. I guess they do. Let's do a title whatever. We've already got a Title IX for the women. We need a title whatever for the trans. And they should have their own leagues. I got no problem with it. Have it. You can have any sports league you want. And trans men and trans women can play on the same teams against each other, however y'all want to do it. It's your league. And if you want to change and shower in a locker room with other trans men and trans women, and I don't know what y'all would do all together, but that's your business. I got no problem with it. I would support that, but I don't support men and women's sports. It just is wrong. It's just wrong. And now we're wondering what's going to happen over there with Israel. Well, finally, an American president stood up and said basically to Israel, your decision. Whatever you want to do about it, this is what I do about it. Trump said what he'd do about it, but he said it's not my decision. I'm not Joe Biden. I don't go around telling other people to appease and acquiesce to terrorists. Trump's not going to have it. So, but he said, Israel, whatever you decide. And really, that's telling Israel, look, the Biden administration put reins on you. They were pulling you back. They wouldn't send you the supplies they promised to send, and held up the arms shipments, just the whole bit. And Trump's saying, do what you got to do and let us know, what we can do to help you. Not boots on the ground. It's not our fight, but we certainly support Israel 110%. And if Iran or anybody else tries to jump into the fray, then I don't know, we may have to get involved. We're not going to let Israel get pushed around if anybody can push Israel around. Iran, they can't do it, but they can hurt Israel. They can cause problems for Israel. And the terrorists, well, they're not, you can't talk to them. So Donald Trump says, go for it. And we got to get back to that. We need to be real men, and we need to be real women, and we need to cut out all this other nonsense. We are a country with blacks, whites, browns, yellow, red. We're very diverse culture, but we don't want to be so diverse that we include criminals and terrorists and gang members coming in here illegally and basically harming American citizens. And even the law abiding, if they can't really be law abiding, because if they're illegal, then they're not law abiding. But the non-violent ones, the ones that aren't causing, really any rift, but yet they are. When they get sick, where do they go? Well, they go someplace where they can get free treatment. The kids need educating. Well, they go to a school here in the United States and get educated for free. A lot of them now, we find out that they're living in hotels and apartment complexes, and all of it's free, and there's no, bills coming in, electricity, water. I don't know what else, but they probably have internet. If they didn't have a cell phone when they got here, I'm pretty sure they all got cell phones now. And, they're costing the taxpayers, we the people, a lot of extra money. And then we find out that our last administration prioritized other countries. They prioritized illegal immigrants. They prioritized DEI, and they spent tons and tons and tons of money pouring in to these objectives that they have for each of these areas. And it's all changing again. You see, the point of the Gulf of America, people think, well, that, kind of silly. But I think Donald Trump was making a pretty strong statement. He's saying, I'm the president of the United States, and I am in charge of the greatest country on earth. And I'm the leader of the free world. So if I got a body of water sitting off my coast, I'll name it whatever I want to name it. And you'll either like it or you won't. And that's the kind of attitude, straight up truth, that we need to get back to. And then finally, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. If you ever had doubts about that adage, look at the Biden administration, okay? Look at the Biden administration, and you will see exactly what that means. Because they didn't stand for anything but nonsense and lies and fraud and deceptions and schemes and plans and ploys. They were all over the map. Whatever the next poll said, that's what they wanted. Didn't matter what it was. If the poll said that they're crazy, people were for it, because these polls, now hold on a minute, we got to stop. I said I'm almost done, but man, I am almost done, but we got to talk about polls. I forgot about that. I don't trust any of them anymore. I don't care who runs the polls. I don't trust them. I'm 66 years old, and I have never been asked what I thought about a politician or a policy, or I've never been polled. I take polls, online. Uh, I do that for the fun of it. They're mostly nonsense polls, but we saw in this last election, my goodness, they just lied and they lied and they lied and they lied. What they should have done was to come out and say most of the people in these polls uh, were lunatics. If they even actually surveyed people, sometimes I think they just make it up. Now, we're finding out some of these media people, companies were getting paid by Biden government. Now, don't you know they're going to skew any poll that they come up with? They say, well, Trump was 53 and now he's 49. But I noticed that they were different wording of question. And depending on how you word a question, this says a lot about what the person's going to answer. So don't listen to the polls, okay? Make America Great Again is well underway. Make America Healthy Again is well on the way. We find out that the Health and Human Services was given a chunk of money to somebody. I don't even remember, but I thought, whoa. And opened the books because I hadn't heard that Musk had gone to Health and Human Services yet. So maybe he did his own look. And I think Lee Zeldin, EPA, I think he did some looking too. And he found that video of the guy saying, get rid of the money, get rid of the money, get rid of the money, get rid of the money just as fast as we can. He's throwing gold bars into the water. Gold bars into the water just to get rid of the money. And what they were doing was they were giving them to these corporate or companies or NGOs or charities or whatever it is that they were giving them to. And it was basically blank checks, and they just said, disperse it, get it going. We got to get rid of it. Trump's coming. We got to get rid of it. Okay, I've rambled around and in and out and up and down, and so I'm going to let you go. If anybody's out there listening, I wish you'd like it. I wish you'd share it. If you can get on YouTube and find my channel, and the link I send, I think if you just click on that link or highlight that link and then put it in the search bar, I think it'll take you to. But I'd like for you to subscribe to my channel if that's an option. But I'd like comments too. I don't get any comments. And I don't understand. I'm trying to get a conversation going and nobody's conversing with me. I do talk to some people on Truth Social, typing, posting, and in Messenger we talk, but not enough. We need hundreds and thousands. And we need to move this Make America Moral movement along. We need to grow it. We need to make it strong. And we need to do the very best we can to support Make America Great Again. So, like, share, comment, and if you can get to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much, and you have a great day.